Alright, class, so, who here can count to 10 for me? Me? I can do it! Okay, settle down. Let's hear it.
Okay. 1, 2, 3.
Very good.
3 and Knuckles.
What?
CD. Adventure 1. 4. 4 episode 2.
Please stop.
Hey everyone, it's me, Shemp, always letting you know if you should shelve it or trash it. Now today, I think we have the most forgettable piece of Sonic media ever. That's a huge stretch, but I'm more inclined to believe that more people remember Sonic Underground than they do this game.
You guys remember the classic Sonic games, right? Of course you do, because Sega refuses to let you forget. Back in the day, it seemed like it was one after the other. Sonic the Hedgehog, Sonic the Hedgehog 2, Sonic CD, Sonic 3 and Knuckles, etc, etc. As we evolved over time, the numbered Sonic games kind of disappeared. Almost every other game was its own standalone thing, not tied to what came before it. So it was safe to assume that the classic timeline stopped at Adventure. Smash cut to February 4th, 2010, where Sega showed off their new favorite number.
Wow.
See, in 2010, I was 12 years old, and you bet your ass that 12-year-old me was shitting his pants because of this.
Damn it.
This was kind of a big thing. The Genesis games were a huge staple in gaming history. When people think of Mario, they think of Sonic. When people think of Sega, they think of Sonic. When people think of DeviantArt, they think of Sonic. To make a direct sequel to some of the greatest classic games ever is a huge deal and is something that must be handled with the utmost and proper care. So, Sonic the Hedgehog 4 Episode 1, released in 2010 for the phone, and phones. Yes, Sega really wanted to emphasize the fact that this game was headed to your mobile phone. There were console versions, yeah, but it wasn't originally like that. See, on February 9th, 2010, a prototype of the game was leaked onto the Wii and the Xbox 360. This gave us a deeper look into the game before it was actually shown off, and people were pretty mad. Not only did the physics and momentum look extremely off, but the gimmicks that were made for the phone, like tilting the device to make Sonic go faster, were in these console builds, and people didn't like that. The game was delayed so they could fix it more and remove those gimmicky levels from the console version. It was then later marketed that the mobile version got these cut levels as exclusive levels. It just seemed really lazy and not at all like classic Sonic. Speaking of classic Sonic, that's not here. Instead, we have modern Sonic taking on this classic Sonic sequel, which I understand. You know, we grew up with Sonic, so it makes sense for him to be grown up with us in this new game. It just feels weird not having classic Sonic in a classic Sonic game. It seems like Sega likes to mix and match where modern and classic Sonic go.
But Shemp, how does it play, I hear you not asking? Well, let me tell you. Bad. So objectively, yes, this is a 2D classic Sonic game. But in reality, yes, this is bad.
Sonic controls like Sonic. We got moving left and right, the spin dash, and jumping, with the newest addition being the homing attack. You'll be using this move a lot as the level design begs you to use it as another way of jumping again. The Sonic 4 loves to put these enemies in homing attack chains to reach higher platforms, so instead of jumping to them, you're forward jumping at them. It's basic level design that other games have used before, but good God, they really want you to use it. I swear, I see the same copy and pasted row of enemies almost every level. Speaking of seeing the same, I swear I've played all of these levels before. Besides looking like a plastic shiny mess, the levels themselves are just mishmashes of older Sonic levels that have little to no originality or identity. We got not Green Hill Zone, not Casino Night Zone, not Labyrinth Zone, not Metropolis Zone, and not Sonic 2 Final Boss. Good God, guys, I understand. These levels were great before. That doesn't mean do it again. Sonic 4 does the Sonic 1 thing of having 3 acts per zone for whatever reason, and then a boss fight at the very end. And the boss fights, oh my God, guys, they're so good at doing the same shit. I'm not kidding, guys. Every boss fight in this game is a literal copy and paste from Sonic 1 and 2 with like one new move. Instead of waving the ball back and forth, he does a flip sometimes. As for the plot, well, it copies that from the original games too, by not having one. Eggman bad, Sonic good. The end. I don't even think the game really knows what's going on either. Mad Gear's boss has the tagline, "Defeat the real Dr. Eggman." Okay? What? I assume it's saying that because Eggman has these little robots protecting him that you have to pop off. But I doubt anyone was originally going to look at those and be like, holy shit, he's getting away! So overall, the blatant copying of level mechanics, themes, and ideas is pretty bad. But I think the worst offense is messing up the momentum. See, I'd be inclined to argue that classic Sonic was never really solely about speed. It was mainly about keeping your momentum. Nowadays, yes, speed is the name of the game, but back then it was all about what slopes you could use to gain more and more traction. Hell, there are pits in Sonic 2 that teach you, again, how to properly use momentum to your advantage. Run up a bit, spin into a ball, and let gravity do its thing. This is easily the most fun about these games. Sonic 4 asks the age-old question, what if we didn't do that? Momentum just doesn't exist here. These levels are designed to play themselves with little input from the player. If you try to spin into a ball and attempt to gain any sort of momentum, the game will quickly remind you that there is no fun to be had here. In the classic games, there were plenty of times that the levels taught you how to properly use momentum. See how much speed you can gain and use it from there. I know I keep comparing this to the old Sonic games, but that's because it's a direct sequel to those old classic Sonic games. But hey, I gotta give Sonic 4 props. It somehow made the special stages from Sonic 1 even worse. In Sonic 1, all you had to do was control Sonic while the stage rotated and snag the Chaos Emerald. It wasn't the most fun thing, but it was neat, I guess. Sonic 4 special stages are exactly that, but you control the stage instead of Sonic, which immediately makes me want to vomit from just looking at it. This, upon this, upon this, upon everything else just keeps making this entire experience extremely boring and forgettable. Oh, I almost forgot. The mobile version of Sonic 4 was updated to give the game a facelift, so better models, better textures, overall better presentation. So now, the mobile version looks better than the console version because they never got any sort of update. Oh, also, the game's now free on mobile, so tough luck if you bought it before this.
So what should you do? Shelve it or trash it? Well, it sucks. It just plain sucks. Nothing at all can be salvaged from this. And to make things worse, we still have episode 2 left. So since we don't have the full experience, I'm going to hold off on trashing this until we get to episode 2. Who knows? Maybe episode 2 could save Sonic 4 in its entirety. Or not.